Well, it's been a good summer off, but it's time to get back on this 98 XC600.
Time to start doing it.
Yep. All right, so
Really, it's on the table.
Lonnie's here tonight, but we got to go backwards in time because I've been doing work on the motor and the water pump. That's really about all I've been doing since we left off. I got the crank rebuilt. I started putting it together. Well, let's show you. We'll show you instead of telling you.
Right up.
Hey, I'm back, and it's been a while since I've worked on a sled. Since we took those screws apart. Oh, wait, only the patrons saw that. But there sits the XC600 just as it was. And the next step is to get the engine back together. And you can see I got the measuring tools out. First step is going to be to check the piston side clearance. Make sure that's in spec and acceptable. And then we're going to move on to gapping the rings. And then I guess we'll start bolting stuff together. When you're checking your piston clearance, always go off the manufacturer's information for the pistons. They know what these are made of. They know how much they're going to expand or not. They know what they're doing. So these are the T-Mollies, and this is a liquid cooled, and it's darn near 3 inches, so needs to be 3.5 to 4.3 thousandths of an inch. And I've been checking this, and let's see. Let's get this in focus for you. If I hold the camera too close, it won't. You can see we're just a tick under a thousandths. We'll go down underneath the exhaust port and re-verify because, you know, you measure your skirt near the bottom. It's just a tick under 4 thousandths. And haven't measured this one at all yet, but I will tell you this. The two pistons mic'd out absolutely identical to within a tenth of a thousandth. And yeah, that's real good there. Real good. Let's go down below the exhaust port. Yep, just a tick under 4. We can check it wherever we want, but these are some pretty good cylinders. I'll check more measurements. This isn't necessarily all I'm going to check. I'll mess around with this thing, but I don't think we're going to find any tight spots. I think this is like spot on for piston clearance. So I guess we're going to move on to ring gap after I check it a little bit more. I need to interrupt the video for a second, but it's for a great reason. It's a merch update. Check out this shirt. Pretty cool, right? This is a button-up Hawaiian style shirt with some classic snowmobile prints on it. I've got 5 varieties. This is the first one that showed up, but let me show you the others. So the one I'm wearing, I call it the large trailing arm shirt, because the images are large. Next, I've got the TXL shirt. Then I've got the large oldie shirt. Then I've got the small oldie shirt. The sleds are smaller, but there's more of them. And then finally, I've got the small trailing arm shirt. So check those out. You have to order them online. I'm sorry, everybody wants me to sit at a table and sell shirts to them at Princeton, but I got a video to make. I can't just sit there and I can't be paying people. So these are online only. They are print on demand. They're not printed until you order it. Check it out. Here's the link. Here's the business card. I'll be handing these cards out at Princeton. You can use that QR code right from the screen with your phone, or if you want to type it in, it's on there. Also, my old t-shirts are still available too. So see you at Princeton. Right, so I'm gapping my rings, and this whole set is tight. In fact, the only one that had 14 thousandths was one of the top rings. And I like to run my top rings a little more loose. I'll run the tight end of the spec on the second ring. It just doesn't see as much heat, right? Top ring's much closer to combustion. So I did a bunch of filing. I got my second ring here to, like 16 thou. And then I got my top ring to 18. And the range, it says, is 14 to 22. And let's hope you can read this. It's pretty hard to read, but that says first, it's got a part number, and it says top on it to give you direction. So first is the top ring. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Oh, the filing, I got a little diamond file, and I'm filing very carefully to keep perpendicular. and then I give it a little deburr. Then I put it in, use the piston with the ring on it to seat it square. That's why there's a ring on this piston. Just simple feeler gauges. That's all you need to gap rings. There's no excuse for not doing it. Well, here's something that always creates a little controversy. 3-bond 1215. It says it right in the service manual. All right, let's talk about the water pump situation on these 97s and 98s, the big block 600s, 700s. So they came with a seal that you can't get anymore. But what you can get is the 99 seal. And I've decided I'm going to make it work. After a bunch of measuring and some Googling, I came up with this tool that I needed to make, which offsets, it presses in both parts of the seal at once and offsets at 8.9 millimeters. Measuring the shaft with the shaft installed. Bottom line is, I'm going to counterbore this to 36 millimeters, 12.7 millimeters, or exactly a half an inch down from this machine surface. Then at that point, I should be able to press in the shaft and then press in the seal. Let's find out how it works. All right, that would appear to be the counterbore. Nothing to do but try it. All right, got my shaft pressed in with the bearings. Feels great. Next, it's time to try out my seal driver. So first check. Yep, should rattle there. Then here's the seal, and yep, it slips right over that. You can see it's going to set the depth. So you need this with this 8.9 millimeter depth because the outside and the inside are both a press fit, and they got to go on together or you're going to wreck your seal. So let's give her a little tappy tap tap. That looks pretty darn close to me. You can see that it's on. It's looking good. Get a little washer, and then your impeller goes on. Come on, impeller. And then it's another washer and a nut. I kind of wonder if that seal doesn't go on a little more, though. It's not quite below that step, and I want it to get down to that step. So let's give it a little more love. All right, that did not go below that step. So these seals are pretty forgiving. I'm thinking I might adjust my tool. I don't know. Let's put it together, see what it looks like. And I can come back and adjust the tool later if I need to. All right, here's my first clue. I definitely got to knock that seal in a little bit more because the impeller's hitting. Should get there, though. There's plenty of spring compression left on that seal. I just have to trim up my little tool by a tiny amount. All right, so that little trim worked good. I got it knocked down to just below that surface. Now, does the impeller fit, though? Definitely got more threads showing. Not quite. Well, I got some other impellers to try. I'll be back. All right, what's happening is the impeller isn't sitting down on this. This is from a 99, same deal. There's not a ton of choices. I could try to counterbore the impeller a little bit. I don't know. I think it's the seal thing that's doing it to me right now. I mean, it's a 98 shaft. It's got the right bearings. It's pressed all the way in. That's the way it's got to be. So I have some impellers here. I have multiple choices. I think I'm going to take one and do a counterbore on the back. And if it blows into a million pieces, oh well, I got another one. All right, so what I've learned is the impeller is hitting here. It's hitting on the seal, and so my counterbore for the seal is not deep enough. Probably going to wreck the seal. That's a given. It's probably going to get wrecked. I got to order a new seal. Increase my counterbore depth, and it should be fine. So I'll get after that. All right, looking in here, there's a good gap between the seal and the stopping point here. So I definitely got to counterbore it enough to hit there. So I'm going to figure out how to take a measurement there. I'll find some sort of a tiny measuring tool. I'll figure it out. All right, I got creative with the measuring. This is some 1/8" welding wire. It's got a little room on it. So this is basically 3.2. I'm going to say I can go 3.5 millimeters more, which I don't know if that's going to get me there or not, but gives me something to shoot for. All right, confirming that another 3 millimeters, 3.5 is going to get me there. The depth is 11.5, and the seal ends up being about 8. So 3.5 millimeters is it. And then if that doesn't make the impeller clear, I will have to clearance this side, counterbore this a bit to fit around the seal, which is 100% a thing a guy could do. Probably do that ahead of time. But I do need to do that counterbore, but I better get another seal on order. All right, another sacrificial, we'll call it a setup seal, knocked in. Depth is pretty good, could only go a little further. Now, of course, this will be closed down a few millimeters, but let's see if we're even in the ballpark. We are close. We are very close. I believe I'm going to counterbore one impeller since I have 3, and that'll work with the seal in that far. And I got to fix my tool that I shortened up. All right, so there's a counterbored impeller. I got that washer just proud of the surrounding surface. It didn't touch where it sits, but I cut away like half the thickness around that. And the seal fits in there. Sure, no worries. And let's throw the washer in under the seal and make sure. Yeah, it's gonna be sitting on that washer. Yeah, all good. All good. More complicated than I anticipated. Sorry for the poor camera work right now and other times when I'm working like this. I'm not used to it. But this is going to fly. As soon as I get a new seal and touch this thing up again, why, then we'll be good to put it together, and I have confidence. I think it's going to work. Okay, so we're back to here. I got the gear in. It's pressed all the way. Pressed up. I've got my 36 millimeter counterbore right there. And we're going to throw a seal at it. And then we'll see if the impeller fits. And remember, and I'm saying remember because it's been a while for me, I had to do a little bit of a counterbore op there on the old impeller. Well, that went right in. All right, look at this. So that impeller is now sitting just 20 thou above the step on the shaft. And that's the deal. This shape this shape of this seal is different than the old one, and I had to counterbore the impeller to get around it. But as you can see, there's plenty of material. The impeller still feels strong. Everything feels good. I don't know. So there we go. Now the moment of truth. Yeah, we clear the housing this time. Finally, we're there. So that was the big problem earlier, was that I needed to counterbore the impeller. So at this point, I could put on a washer. I could put on a nut, which I'm going to put, this is stainless on stainless, so I'm going to put a little anti-seize, put on the gasket in the back cover, and we can call this water pump rebuilt finally. So that's how you do a 97-98 XC600-700 pump with a 99 and up seal. All right, one last look. You can see the nuts on with the nylock well engaged. I could certainly feel it while I was tightening it. I had to wipe off a little anti-seize there. And the drag is exactly the same as it was before I tightened down the nut. So the drag is just the natural drag of the bearings plus that mechanical seal. And this is a way better seal than the 97 and 98 came with. So there's probably like 3 guys out there screaming, "Nutter, why didn't you just do what I did?" I know what you did. Some of you used a 99 and up housing with all 99 guts, which has got the superior mechanical seal to it, and you rerouted your plumbing. It's fine. Nobody notices. I'm not ripping on that. Some others of you reused your 98 stuff, but you use these 2, I call them oil seals from Skidoo. They may be used in a water pump. I'm not sure where they come from, but I know there's a lot going on out there with guys saying they used them and they work. That's fine. I'm not saying they don't work. What I am saying is I did it the way I wanted to do it. I wanted to solve this puzzle of how to make the 99 seal work in the 98 housing. Simple as that. I wanted to do it this way, so I did it this way. I'm happy I did. I don't think I invented the wheel here. I'm sure somebody else has done this already. I'm sure somebody else has figured it out. I just haven't seen that. So anyways, I'm happy I did it. I'm happy it worked out this way. I feel like this is going to last a long, long time. All right, so that catches you up on the motor, the water pump situation. We are at the stage where we block off the exhaust ports and the intakes and pressure check this thing. We're not putting the stator in until it's pressure checked, just in case there's any leaks. We got to take stuff apart. Why put it together and take it apart again?
I think we've even seen a leak along there at one point.
We might have.
Yeah.
So I'll run up some spark plugs. I got a buddy that runs a water jet, and he made these for me for the exhaust.
Nice.
And then I made some rubber gaskets, even put an arrow on them because these are asymmetric for whatever reason. This 3-volt pattern, it seems like it's only got one way it fits. So
These right here?
Nope, we'll find them. We'll bring you back once we get it blocked off. Sticking some V-Force 3s in this thing. Why not? All right, just showing you, we got her all blocked off, and those are the boots that I got from Eric Sundquist up at Mohawk Salvage to go with my 40mm Makunis. Yes, I said 40. Some guy in the comments made some comment like those little Makunis. Like, no, this is stepping up. Yep. So, anyways, let's pressure test it, and let's see how it goes. So let's dial her up to 14, and then we'll close the ball valve.
Oh, we got something.
We got a big leak somewhere.
Right here. What's supposed to be in that hole right there?
An oil fitting. All right, we got to put an oil fitting in. We already found that.
Yep.
This is a dead giveaway. You see the foam and the bubbles? Yeah, we're gonna have to put some sealant on. Oh crap, are we leaking at the base gaskets?
That seemed like a pretty big leak to be that carb boot or lead block.
Yeah, I don't think that dripped down off of there. Just spray the whole engine down. right, so we got base gasket leaks and we got other leaks. So that's just great. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to seal them up with some sealant. Brand new V-Force reeds with brand new gaskets. I don't know what to say. All right, we went around and retorqued the base studs, and we're checking it again, and you can see we're still getting the foam. So there's no two ways about it. I got to pull the top end off, add some sealant to the base gaskets, add some sealant here on the reed cages, and well, that should get us where we're going. Brad wants to check back here. I sprayed that pretty good. It's odd that we're only getting it on the one side.
Yeah, it is.
And that was the tight side.
Yeah.
So you're saying you got to get that with your strong hand?
I got to get it with the hand that actually can get it. And there we go. Ka-thunk. All right, let's put a couple nuts on that before we do anything. I had some guy in the comment section argue with me that this isn't how you test the rings. Well, no, it's not how you test the rings. We're making sure the case halves are sealed. And as you saw, the base gaskets, the head gaskets, all that. That's the point of this. We're making sure the motor's sealed. This is a legit thing. It's in the service manual. And your tolerance is a leak down of 1 PSI in 1 minute. So, and we go for better than that. All right, so we're going to stop right there. That's pretty close to 14. And it's leaking, damn it. Damn it, it's leaking as bad as it was. When you shut the ball valve, that's when the test starts. Well, we found a huge leak. That's a showstopper until I get a new seal on order. And I guess I'll put the new one in with some goo. So, I got to go order a part. Lonnie wants to know how bad it is to take this apart. And it's really not bad, Lonnie. See these 4 bolts right here?
Yeah.
We blast those off. Then we clean up the sealant because this seals to the case with the same 3-bond.
Right.
Put in a new seal, which we're going to glue in with the 3-bond 1215 and then seal it up to the case again. And then
Okay. So that's not your crank seal.
that is the crank seal.
It is the crank
This
seal.
is the crank seal, and it goes into this
It
housing.
is leaking like crazy.
And it is leaking like crazy, and there's
it's
no
leaking
way.
like a sieve.
There's no way. This is why we pressure check motors.
Exactly.
This is a way bigger problem than
No,
the
let's
other
spray the other
problems.
side.
We sprayed it already because it was easy. Give her some more, Lonnie. You already sprayed that. That one's easy.
I didn't think we sprayed the lower half at all.
Yeah, I sprayed all around the parting line. All right, so the seal pounds in from this side, so I popped it off the case. I got no idea how that was leaking. I had sealant around it, but I didn't goober it up before I tapped it in, which is what I will do on the next one. Because this one, it's probably going to get wrecked knocking it out. Well, there you go. Sometimes a shop night ends with a roadblock, but that's why we run that test. Now we know. So I didn't have an oily mess coming out of my stator housing that I would have had. We've eliminated that. We eliminated oil leaks around the base gaskets. We eliminated air leaks around the boots. I'll get that new seal in there. The thing will be good as gold.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
I mean, exactly. That's exactly why we run that test.
Yep.
Find all that
You
stuff.
think you should order a seal for the other side just in case?
No, because it's brand new.
But you got to split the case again.
No, I don't. It's in that housing.
Oh,
No,
that's
it's in
right.
that
Okay.
housing right
All
there.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too.
That seal's in the water pump housing, so I don't
In
have
the
to
water
split
pump
the
housing.
case.
Nice.
So we're good to go on this. So you'll see this on Sunday, and before the next Sunday, it's Princeton. So
Yes.
we will see you at the Outlaw Grass Drag Swap up at Princeton. Are you going?
I'll be out there Saturday.
Sunday? Friday?
Friday. No.
Saturday is really only kind of a half day at the swap.
Oh.
Friday's,
changed it.
Friday's the big day.
Okay.
They did change it. They did. It doesn't even happen on Sunday anymore. So Friday's the big day, and
I'll try to make an appearance.
yeah, hell, camp with Tommy. All right, Brad, are you coming?
To be determined.
TBD.
TBD.
All right, Tommy and Rick are going to be there. All the supporting cast, the extra, my buddies that just show up once in a while, Valdi, Stratachek, Greg, Water Pump, Tim, they're all going to be out there. So come out and meet the crew. Yeah, we're happy to meet you.
Heck yeah. Love it.
All right, we better roll the sponsor roll. Nutter Speed Shop is sponsored by Metro Performance Fuels. Please give Adam a call for all your performance fuel and race fuel needs. He is based out of the same building as Minnesota Motorsports, near Wyoming, Minnesota. Nutter Speed Shop is also sponsored by Minnesota Motorsports. So if you need snowmobile repairs or a complete race sled build or anything in between, get a hold of Chet. We really appreciate your sponsorship, guys. Thank you. All right, and our sponsors, Adam from Metro Performance Fuels and Chet from Minnesota Motorsports, who are also Minnesota Snow Drags, will be out there. They have a trackside spot near the finish line for the Minnesota Snow Drags booth, Metro Performance Fuels booth, all that. So be sure to swing in, say hi to those guys, and meet them. If you're looking for us at the races on Friday night, well, we'll be somewhere along the fence watching the races, but there's a good chance we'll be down there. No guarantees. What else? That's about it until we get to Princeton. So I guess with that said, huge thanks to the patrons. The patrons are the channel members. We run our membership off-site on a different website called Patreon. And I don't know what else to say. It's just like everybody else's membership. You pay a little bit each month. You get all the videos early and ad-free. You get member-only videos. You know, it's pretty
It's a good
cool.
deal.
Yeah, we do a member-only ride for the patrons. We did it last year. We're planning on doing it again this year.
Good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Snow permitting.
Well, yeah, then there's that.
We can always decide on that.
Well, that'll be decided later. At least there'll be a patron/member-only get-together. So there's no membership on YouTube. We got a Facebook page now, and I've got a lot of short videos up there. Kind of took a break from that. I had some other projects to work on here, and I'll probably make some more of those before too long. So check out Nutter Speed Shop on Facebook, and please hit follow. Like is great, but I need you to hit follow on Facebook. That's what really helps me. And hit subscribe on YouTube.
Right.
Yep. Oh, before I forget, huge thanks to everybody that's given us the super thanks, which is Fallen Gardens, of course, who's always doing that.
Much appreciated.
Yep, and he's also a patron, so that's pretty cool. We'll see you at Princeton.
See you at the swap.